Welcome to Encouragement Thursday for May 13th. This month, I've been talking about blind spots and how they affect us. We have to understand that they can negatively affect our relationships when we don't know they're there. I am sharing some tools to discover what they are and also some keys to overcome them. Last week, I shared about how blind spots can actually cause arguments. And so let's get going with this week. Have you ever judged somebody? Come on, we've all judged somebody at one time or another. It's very easy to do. It's actually almost too easy to do. When my daughter Jaylene was 16 years old, she was actually asked to speak to a group of people on the subject of judgment. And she said this, she said, if you are offended by somebody, you have already judged them. Wow. I mean, think about that for a minute. Profound wisdom from a 16-year-old. Yes, I'm a proud dad. But it's so true. If you've already been offended, you probably have already judged their motives. And that's the problem with blind spots. It's very difficult for us to understand what people's motives are. When we have our own blind spots, we don't even always know what our own motives are. They're coming out of a place in our heart that we've never seen before. So blind spots can cause us to judge someone without really even knowing why we're doing it, or in that fact, even that we are doing it. Here's the thing. We all send relational messages, whether we realize it or not. When we have blind spots, we may not even be aware of the message that we're actually sending. And so what happens is we send a wrong message because we're looking through the screen of that blind spot. You also receive relational messages. And if that message comes through the blind spot filter, it can actually dirty the filter. And so we become offended. And as my daughter said, then we've already judged. And so what we want to do is we want to clean those filters out by discovering what the blind spots are. It's no fun going through life judging people or feeling judged, for sure. So a great tool to overcome a blind spot that leads to you judging is simply to develop a curiosity approach to the people that you relate with at work and at home. It's simple to be able to look at, let me give you an example, rather than judging their motives, maybe you decide to ask questions to find out and understand their heart. Find out what's going on inside them. Maybe even discover what their blind spots are so that you can help them see them as well. And that way you stop judging. When you take a curiosity approach, it prevents you from judging because you're just trying to discover, and it's going to really help you. What I've discovered is that this can lead to great connection intersections with people. You learn about them and you discover new things about them instead of kind of going to those dividing points. All right, here's the second thing you can do. If you haven't already, if you missed last week and you haven't already, go and take the blind spot assessment that I've put in the comments. I put a link there right to my website, and you can take that assessment and it's going to tell you what your style is and what your strengths are from that style, but it's also going to give you insight into potential blind spots for you. After you've done your own test, you might want to send that to family members or to your team that you work with. You can send it to them and ask them to fill them out, and then you can all kind of discover together what those are. And it can really give you insight into one another and understand each other's hearts. So this week, I'm challenging you to start taking on a curiosity approach to people, especially the ones you relate to closely. Start to discover what their heart might say. I'm also encouraging you this week to take that blind spot test to discover your own potential blind spots and have your team or your family do it with you so that you can discover what theirs are and then have a conversation about it. So, as we look at blind spots this month, I'm really hoping that you'll use this opportunity to discover more about yourself and others and bring those into your relationships so that you can strengthen your relationships. I'm so glad to be with you this week. Remember, my book, Relationship Matters, is available now. Just go to my website and you can buy it there. Have a great week.